Now I'm going to review SISU, which came out, it just came out here this past weekend, but apparently this is from 2022. It is, well, let's see what studio is bringing us this. Lionsgate, Sub-Zero Film Entertainment, original language, this is in Finnish. Okay, so maybe they found this and then decided to market it in the US. Just came out in wide release April 28th, 2023. We seem to have gotten that a week later here. Yeah, I don't know why it was supposed to come out here and then they canceled it all of a sudden. I was kind of disappointed. I ended up having to go see something else I really wasn't looking forward to as much as this. So this is probably, I'm going to do non-spoilers and then I'm going to do spoilers. So currently this film, which is an hour and 31 minutes, so not bad for time, right? It's rated R. So it's got 94% audience score. I'm sorry, critics certified fresh rating and an 88% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes as well. I'll just give you the no, not the critics consensus. I'll give you these. There's the movie info. So this is the basic info that you would want to know going into it. During the last desperate days of the Second World War, a solitary prospector crosses paths with Nazis on a scorched earth retreat in northern Finland. When the Nazis steal his gold, they quickly discover that they have just tangled with no ordinary miner. I'm not going to read any more of that. But I saw the trailer for this and I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty good. It looks like, it's hyper violent, it's killing Nazis. Okay, Second World War. Who doesn't want to see that? And it's the Finns doing it, Finnish. So, yeah, that's one thing I've never been to Finland. I may have met some people who are Finnish, but one thing I know about from studying history is that never mess with the Finnish. They are ruthless. Okay? Even still to this day, don't mess with the Finnish at all. I was really looking forward to this. It's got a lot of, this to me is done in a style of a Quentin Tarantino movie or an old spaghetti western. So the plot goes along and it's really slow paced and the story really slows to a crawl, and then suddenly there's all this violence and then it just goes right back and it goes to a crawl again, and then suddenly there's a bunch of more violence, and there's stare downs and face offs and just these long lingering shots all the time. So it wasn't the fast paced action movie I was expecting, which I kind of got from the trailer. I didn't think it was going to be, similar to a Tarantino movie where like things slow right down and it gets really into nitty gritty of it, and you're lots of dialogue maybe in certain scenes, and then it's just these long shots, and then suddenly there's all this hyper violence. So it does have similarities to both spaghetti westerns and Tarantino movies. I guess it reminded me a lot of Inglourious Basterds, which is one of the Tarantino movies. End of the day, what can I say about this? Oh, the other thing about this movie, which is not a spoiler, is there is a bit of unrealism about this. You have to have certain ability to suspend your disbelief for certain things, because you're thinking this is just an ordinary guy, but some of the things that they do, it's like, no way, that guy would be, all of his bones would be shattered. There's no way this guy would survive some of this stuff. So, while it's supposed to be based in reality, you have to have a certain amount of disbelief for this and be able to go into this. This is not real life. Also, you can tell that by the hyper violence, but also it's just, there's a lot of things in it that I just didn't buy. And I'm like, this is definitely not reality. But at the end of the day, even though, yeah, it was kind of dull at certain points there, and I'm like, oh, just get on with it. I don't need to see, them staring down at this or like this view of this vista and everything. Just move the story along. End of the day, though, I did enjoy it more than I did, even though it had some dull parts in it. But overall, like the violence in that and killing Nazis and great stuff, and it's just a simple story. I give it a best movie ever. If you're into that kind of stuff, Western style movies or Tarantino movies, I would recommend checking this out. Just don't expect it to be. I mean, it's not going to be like John Wick or anything, but yeah, I would compare it to Inglourious Bastards, but a little bit more unrealistic, let's say. Now let's get into the spoilers of it. I mean, not too much to spoil because you don't even really remember the characters' names. And yeah, there's several women that I think there's 6 women that he rescues in it. At one point, he's doing his Indiana Jones Rares of the Lost Ark. He's holding on under the truck, but he seems to be doing it just fine. It's just dragging him along. He doesn't seem to mind. What else was there? The stuff with the plane, I found that to be just kind of ridiculous. I'm like, at that point, I'm just okay. He's on the plane. He's shooting. He gets on the plane with his pick, and somehow he's able to just hold on, and then he flies off and gets to and yet holds on to the other landing gear while still holding on to his pick. And then the plane crashes. I mean, and he's fine because just they say he's I'm not sure of the exact line, but he won't allow himself to die. So it's all just pure will. I didn't really buy that. It just got a bit too wacky and crazy in the end, I guess, is what I'm saying. However, it was fun killing the Nazis there. I mean, they kind of deserved it. However, then there was the landscape was all just open, barren landscape. I'm sitting there, how do you hide in this? Even if there's dust, I mean, one guy's a sharpshooter. How do they keep missing him? It just seemed a bit. If it had been in a forest, it would have worked much better. But in this barren permafrost area above the Arctic Circle, which I believe that area that they were fighting on, yeah, that was definitely way above the Arctic Circle there in Finland. If I know my geography right. If I don't, let me know down in the comments below if I'm wrong. It was quite a fun time, actually. It was just slow. Like, you get going and you're having a good time, and then it just slows right down. I'm like, oh, really? And then it picks up again. So pacing issues for me is really what I'm saying. But if you're into war movies or some good action movies, Tarantino, Western style movies, or if you just want to see, this crazy guy killing Nazis, yeah, go for it. I'd recommend that. But if you're not into it says here R for strong, bloody violence, language, gore. So if you're not into that, I wouldn't check it out. But I still give it a best movie ever. Thought it was great. I had a fun time. I'm not rushing back to see this, though. Let me know your thoughts. Did anyone out there see SISU in theaters this week or last? Let us know what you think of it. Did you like it? Did you not? Is your opinion different than mine? Anyway, leave me a comment down below and we might read that out on a future episode.